There. Well, it's a little above a year since the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan died, and heads of security and former heads of state of African countries have been meeting here in Accra, and their focus is to examine the most effective ways of rooting out violent extremism. Now, the theme for the forum is peace operations in the context of violent extremism, as I indicated earlier. And widow of Mr. Kofi Annan, Nane Annan, has been agreeing to the need for a multifaceted approach to fighting violent extremism. She believes that poverty and exclusion are key areas of focus.
The peace and security of the continent was a personal as well as professional concern for my husband. The spread of violent extremism is destabilizing and terrorizing society and communities across Africa. Violent extremism is causing massive population displacement, economic disruption, and humanitarian crisis. We must recognize, however, that the drivers are multiple, complex, and context-specific. With so many experts in the room, I will not pretend to know the answers to this existential threat. But however, allow me to flag 3 points in particular. First, evidence suggests that violent extremism cannot be solved through security responses and military solutions alone. It demands a holistic approach. According to the UN Development Programme's research on the sources of violent extremism here in Africa, socio-economic and political marginalization, a lack of education, state violence, and poverty are all contributing factors. This underscores the importance of closely aligning security and development strategies. Building democratic institutions and processes that ensures human rights and the rule of law and promote accountability are critical ingredients in countering extremism and should be an integral part of our peace efforts. Through its Elections and Democracy program, the Kofi Annan Foundation works in a number of countries to strengthen the integrity of electoral processes in order to build, strengthen, and safeguard democracy, which also serves as a bulwark against extremism. In fact, today, the Foundation is hosting a conference in Cape Town that specifically looks at challenges to democracy in Central and Southern Africa. Second, I want to underline the important role of civil society organizations. They often have a unique access to their communities and can turn vulnerable individuals away from violent ideologies and radical groups. Third, I believe that we must fully engage young people, especially young women, in all our efforts, including policy making, to prevent radicalization. And I'm glad that the role of women and youth will be highlighted here.
Nane Annan is widow of the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan.